Welcome to Cosmo Talks. I'm Petra. In this episode, we explore why movement is a signal, not a goal, and how you can be a good host for your microorganisms. Because together, you form a fascinating ecosystem. And when the interaction is right, when the crosstalk runs optimally, you flourish. The fitness industry sells us goals: lose 10 kilos, get a six-pack, a marathon in under 4 hours. The goal is the motivation. Without a goal, why would you move? But this goal thinking has a problem. What happens when you reach the goal, or when you don't? In both cases, movement often disappears. What if we flip the question? Not, what do I want to achieve with movement? But, what does movement communicate to my system? Then the goal becomes irrelevant, and movement becomes maintenance. Your body doesn't keep accounts of movement minutes you can save for later. It asks, what are you doing now? And how consistent is that? Movement isn't a goal to achieve, it's an ongoing signal. Every walk, every staircase, every stretch tells your system, this body is active. Adapt. Stop that signal, and your system adapts to stillness. Not after weeks or months, but within days. Research shows that the health effects of movement decline surprisingly fast when you stop. Within 2 weeks of inactivity, your cardiovascular fitness starts declining. Within 4 weeks, your insulin sensitivity has measurably worsened. And your microbiome? That shifts back to an inactive profile within 10 to 14 days. This sounds discouraging. But the reverse is also true. The positive effects of movement are fast, too. A single workout temporarily improves your insulin sensitivity. A few weeks of regular movement increases your microbiome diversity. This means consistency is more important than intensity. A small signal every day is more powerful than a big signal once a week. Your microbiome doesn't respond to intentions, it responds to patterns. It asks, what's the norm? And it adapts to that norm. When you move every day, even just 20 minutes, that becomes the baseline. Your system expects it and prepares for it. Your gut motility synchronizes. Your hormones anticipate. Your microbes are ready. When movement is sporadic, this week every day, next week nothing, your system doesn't know what the norm is. It constantly improvises. And improvisation is less efficient than routine. At Cosmo Group, we learned this from athletes during their off-season. You'd expect that elite athletes, after months of intensive training, could take a break without major consequences. Their baseline is so high that a few weeks of rest wouldn't matter much, but that's not what we saw. In cyclists and endurance athletes who completely stopped training after the season, we saw significant microbiome shifts within 2 to 3 weeks. Diversity dropped. Certain strains associated with good recovery declined. Interestingly, this didn't happen in athletes who took active rest, light training, walking, other sports. Their microbiome stayed more stable. The signal didn't need to be intense. It just needed to keep existing. This changed how we advise periodization, not just for training, but for the microbiome. Complete rest doesn't exist without consequences. Active rest is physiologically very different. The aha moment, movement isn't a project with an endpoint. It's an ongoing conversation with your body. You don't stop brushing your teeth because they're clean enough. You don't stop eating because you've accumulated enough calories for the rest of your life. Movement works the same way. It's maintenance, not investment. The goal isn't to get fit and then stop. The goal is to keep moving every day as normal baseline. This frees you from the tyranny of goals. You don't need to run a marathon. You don't need to undergo a transformation. You just need to regularly tell your system, "We're active. That's enough." Every day. The biohack, anchoring. Connect movement to something you already do every day. After your morning coffee, 5 minutes of stretching. After lunch, 10 minutes of walking. Before dinner, 5 minutes of movement. By anchoring to existing habits, you make movement automatic. It requires no willpower, no planning, no motivation. It just happens. Choose one anchor this week, one moment that's already fixed in your day, and connect 5 minutes of movement to it. Do it for 7 days. The signal becomes routine. This was Cosmo Talks. Progress is rarely a straight line. Growth means learning to move, even when it wobbles. Every step, including the difficult ones, is part of the journey. Want to be part of a community of like-minded people? Visit cosmogroup.eu. Until next time.